What up, what up? Welcome back to another edition of If They Only Knew.
If They Only
Part 2! Part 2 in this motherfucker.
I'm really loving this show right here, If They Only Knew.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. If they only knew, man.
You gotta pick it up, right? Pick
exactly,
up
yeah.
right.
When we left off, even though everybody in the world had watched it already, so they anticipated this. So when we left off, cops ran up on you.
Helicopters in the air.
Yeah, fucking take it.
It was just helicopter in the air, cops run up on me. It was just like a movie. Exactly, it was made just like a movie. You know what I'm saying? So now my life is getting ready to take a twist and a change, and I head to the feds. That's it. Yeah, I head to the feds.
Ooh. Again, your first time ever getting locked up.
First time getting locked up.
And how old were you again?
35.
35.
Right at man's prime. 35.
Wait till 35 to get locked up. Never been locked up. Never been sent up the road. Fucking shit, yeah. All right, well, tell us about
the feds.
No. Look, tell us about intake. Because I heard intake is kind of wild too. When you first get there, first book, you decide where they're gonna send you out to.
Yeah, but you know. That was at the, MDC in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's this building. And you didn't know what this building was. Like, half this stuff I didn't even know even existed.
Right.
That it was a Fed holding center, and I didn't know that we even had a federal prison in Los Angeles. Lucky for me, I got in there. Stayed in the hometown. But besides that, man, when I first came in, it was just a shock. You know, everything was moving so fast. But my mother was able to get me out, and I got out on bail.
Oh, shit.
So, but the problem with getting out on bail is some people think that you've turned into a rat and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
What? I mean, was it a ridiculous amount, the bail, or was it a fair amount?
It was a fair amount because they were still searching and shit too. But they already knew. But my mother, God bless my mother. That's why I'm here now.
Yeah.
She put her neck out there, put her house out there, and the attorneys and everyone else like, we like taking houses like this. We like taking from people. So if your son messes up one time while he's on this bail, we're taking everything from him. So that was kind of hard, but I got out on bail, and when I got out, then the first thing I did was, okay, what am I gonna do? I need a lawyer. Got to figure this shit out. First person I go to is, of course, Johnny Cochran, right? Johnny motherfucking Cochran. Go ahead. But the Johnny, that's what I got. I'm thinking, fuck it. But, the Johnny Cochran firm, they say that they're trying to help everyone. Yeah. These motherfuckers looked at my shit. It was a Fed case. They was like, so now I call him Johnny Cochran because he didn't want because he didn't want to fuck with me.
Distant cousin.
Just a cousin. But I went to a whole bunch of different places. And I couldn't find anything. So I only had so much time.
And nobody wanted to take the case because it was such a big case?
Because the feds are 95%. You do not, when the feds are after you, that's when you know you're in trouble.
They don't want that loss on them.
$415 million so you can keep bringing the lawyer to keep pushing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pushing your date. But finally, it came to the point where I had to take a public defender.
Oh, public pretender.
Federal public pretender. No, I'm going to say he was a public defender. I'm going to tell you this. When I first saw him, he wasn't even giving a fuck. He was just reading the newspaper, and I was like, this motherfucker, my lawyer. I'm just another, because really I'm just another number. This number. They're getting paid whether you win or don't, win or lose, they're going to get paid. Whether how much effort they put into the case or not. He's still getting his standard pay. He don't get no bonus for getting me off. Yeah. But he's just a defense attorney, and he happens to be in the feds. But to come to find out, he was black, which was great, and he was like the number 2 attorney there, or defender there.
Hell yeah.
So everyone was like, well, at least you got the number 2 dude. So as he's telling me, he says, oh man, he's real lackadaisical with it. He's like, oh man, you do 10 years and be out in 7 and everything be all good. That's all he was just looking at. That's what he told me. I was mad to the motherfucker. Like, what? Like, what?
So 10? Try to beat it. We just gonna go with the 10.
He said, we're going to take the 10, you be out in 7, everything be cool. He said, you won't even notice it. So we go through this whole little... He was so cool about it, man. He was super cool. But then we'll go to court and stuff, and he'll give me extensions. So I was out for 11 months. I would go to court, and sometimes they say, look, if that door opens up, then that's the marshals coming to get you.
Damn.
And then I'd be like, going to court, I think it's the last one every time.
Yeah.
And just keep my eyes on that door.
That shit got me stressed like no.
These motherfuckers coming out. Oh fuck, they didn't come out. Now, after doing that about 5 times, I ended up being out for almost be out. I'm out for almost 11 months. Right? So when they accepted the bail, I'm out. Doing my thing, I'm on the street. I'm still going to work. As soon as I get out, I go back to Bank of America because they didn't know what happened to me. I was just missing for a week, and I was like, and I went to my boss and I kind of told a truth lie.
Yeah.
You wonder what the fuck is a truth lie? Well, yeah. I said, yeah, man, I got arrested. I had some people in my car, and there was some weed in the car. And since nobody wanted to give it up, this is my car. They took all of us in until somebody said something. And then finally, they said that it wasn't me, and I was just driving, and they let me out. So my boss was like, all right, I'm going to take that. That goes on your vacation.
That's a
cool. He was cool with it, right? So little did he know, I'm coming to work with a motherfucking, I had the fucking, taser on my ankle. Yeah. And they gave me a phone, right? And they gave me a phone, and the rules were, no matter what time, no matter what you're doing, when that phone rings, you pick that motherfucker up. So I'm like, man, how am I gonna pull this off? First of all, when you go up to the bank where I work, you have to go through this detector. So the first day, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm seriously thinking I'm gonna shit on myself. Because if I go through this detector, they're going to say, what is that? And they're going to see that shit, and it's going to go off. And I just closed my eyes and walked. That shit didn't say anything, and I was like, okay, cool, I got this shit. Got this part. Damn. Go to work, but when that phone would ring, I had to always find an excuse to get up and leave where I was at to go answer that phone, because they said if it rings, and it does all of its rings, they have to give me one more ring back, and I better pick it up, or they're going to fucking come to bring the feds to come find me.
Yeah, no.
And the bad part about it was, I was right around the corner from the feds. Like, they just walked. Oh, who's this guy right here? Because I was in downtown LA. Like, we're going to get him. It's over. But somehow I pulled that off. I pulled that whole stunt off.
For 11 months.
No, well, for 6 months. Because I wanted this, what I was doing was now I was just gaining my money. So here's the catch-22 was, when I was out on bail, I still had to have a job. Right? Because they were going to be on me, so I still had to be like I'm still, because they were following me and all this bullshit and what was going on. So for 6 months, I just kept my bread, kind of stacked it up. So I knew shit was going to happen, but I was having a party every fucking night too, because I didn't know when that shit was going to end.
Well, let me ask you this: did anybody try to contact you? The people that you was fucking with, did they got arrested with you as well?
Well, my two buddies, they had put word on the street that I got out. Okay. And they kind of made that shit like I was the fucking confident informant, or I was the rat. So
they didn't get bail, or they didn't?
Look, my mother makes money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she's rich or we're rich, but for her to put up her house, these guys were some 2 Latino cats, Mexicans, and they from East LA, and they don't own any. They didn't own anything at that time.
I get it.
So, I mean, I barely got out by this, if I didn't have family support, basically, and they put word on the street that I might have been hot. So it was kind of crazy because some people, this even saying that word and being in the hip hop industry is just a no-no.
Yeah.
But people that knew me knew that I'm one to keep my mouth shut, and that's what I did. So basically, once I started doing that, I started just living my life, and then I got off work, and then I had the last 6 months, I was just going to write it out, because, I'm still going to court at the same time. So my lawyer finally tells me I got good news and bad news, and I'm trying to think because I'm trying to think like, hey, well, tell him this, and then I'm supposed to come back with an answer like, oh, well, they're trying to give you some shit like, we'll give you 15. No, I take 7. We're trying to negotiate shit, right?
Yeah.
So my lawyer calls me up. We go over there. He goes, I got good news and bad news. He goes, the bad news is they're not going to give you a plea deal.
Oh.
He says, the good news is you're going to get this thing called an open plea deal. But the open plea deal is the worst fucking plea deal that you can ever get in your life because what it is saying is you're going to take a plea without no number. Or you can go to court and you can go to trial and you can try to beat us at trial. So if I go to trial, it's automatic 30. Automatically, it's life if I go to trial.
But open plea, they can be like 100 years.
An open plea is like I'm going to plead or whatever the fuck they say, right? But you don't know.
Yeah.
So then I remember I go in the office, I said, so you're trying to tell me, and this is what I said, so I say, you're trying to tell me that Tiger Woods is up on this hill, it's like this cliff, and he's got to hit the ball in a hole-in-one way the fuck down. He said, that's Tiger Woods. I said, yeah, but what's the chances? And he kind of like looked at me like, oh, you go to trial. And we already know it's 95%. They win.
Yes.
So I had to take the open plea.
Ooh, shit.
And they were so cold-blooded about it when they gave me the information. They made it so that I had to hurry up and make that decision because I was going either you got to go to court next week or you give us this plea and we'll give you a little bit of time before we figure out what we're going to do for you. So I'm trying to. My brain's going crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like I had dreadlocks, but they motherfuckers was falling apart. It's coming out of my hair because I turned into a whole different stress. You know what I mean? So I go with the open plea, and we go in there, and when we go, I'm trying to think. My lawyers, I said, look, we're gonna make you go last. We're gonna let everybody else go first because my co-defendants they had dirty jackets, GTAs, all this crazy shit, right? Let the boys from East LA go first. So you go last. Their lawyers were playing the same ball game. He's got no record. He's clean. He's African American. Let's see what he has. Let's see what the judge gives him, and then you guys might get a chance. Well, I ended up going first. When I went first, it was the worst thing ever. Because my lawyer said, look, any other judge that you have is this judge name. The judge's name is, God damn it, that's good that I can't remember his fucking name. Judge Liu. Judge Liu was my judge. Judge Liu, I was fucked before it even began because Judge Liu was the first Asian American superior judge, federal judge that was selected by Ronald Reagan.
Oh, shit.
Anti-drugs.
So I was fucked walking in because you know how many crack niggas did he already put in jail and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Crack is whack.
So I'm already fucked. So my attorney says I beat him only one time and he did not like it.
Oh my god! So
he's like, but if it's any other one, would be in. Get you 5 years, 6 years, get you in, get you out.
Bandana.
That motherfucker hit me so hard. And then what made it even worse is at that time I had an Asian girlfriend, so her and her friends are all in the back. So he's probably like,
he's like, oh,
you do this to my people?
He's like, oh, you're gonna pay for
oh, you're gonna pay for this. We already don't like your ass already. You gonna pay, you got my people. Each Asian you got in there is 5 years. 3, 15. Yeah. Besides what you did, you add shit up already. No, but he, I had everybody was there, all my friends and everything, and then I went up there and I apologized. I said a little apologetic and said everything and pleaded. And I apologized to America. I was like, I'm sorry, America. Sorry. I used to know the whole thing, but I got the transcripts So one day I come here and just read the transcripts. Or if anybody wants to find him, I'll find him and do it. But I remember saying, I'm sorry, America, and then I'm sorry to all kind of crazy shit and everything. And fucking apologize to everybody. And then the judge was like, okay, well, here's your sentence. And then he's like, due to your lack of, criminal history, I was going to give you 220 months, but I'm going to go a little lenient on you and give you 188. So here's the trick to that whole thing. When you look at the Fed table, it has numbers, like wherever your severity was of your crime, and then it has numbers by it. So they kind of do that little quad, okay, it reaches right here. The number where I laid in was 188, 220. So then it goes 220 and then everything is there. So what he really did was just keep me in the same fucking category and just said, here, I'm going to give you this shit. He wasn't that lenient, but if he was lenient, you should just put that shit over because you see my record. I'm African American, I'm 35 years old, I don't have fucking kids, I'm paying all my bills, I'm paying my taxes. I live in Hollywood, I work at the bank. I had to get fucking scanned just to work at the fucking bank. And then I made a mistake. Yeah. Right? No. Skin color really matters, fellas. And at that time, because they need the numbers, and it was almost like I was used as we could take even a clean black man and put him in jail, and this is what we're going to give him. This is what he's going to get. He has the cleanest. I had the cleanest record, even when I was getting interrogated. And they were like, "Look, you got the cleanest record of everybody in here. You're the smallest fish in this pond. Just help us out." I was like, "I'm not going to help you out. I can't do it." But they're saying you are get out of here. But I just had to keep my mouth closed. Yeah. But when I go back to what the judge gave me, he's like, "Look, this is what it says." But this is where I kind of don't understand with our criminal justice system. He says his hands were tied, that he could not go any lower. Because he's reading the story. He's like, I can't go any lower. I can't. This is what it is. My hands are tied. That's bullshit. Because I've seen judges, like the judge when that Asian girl. I mean, when the Asian lady shot the black girl in L.A. in the back of the head, and they gave her 5 years of probation. That's death. She killed someone. Yeah, it's in your hands. You can do whatever you can look at the stories. You know what? I think I'm gonna give. This is going to be your slap on the wrist. This is your first time. You can do that. Yeah. So when those judges are saying that, it's not true. That's why you're the judge. You went to school. You did everything. Everyone elected. They had to go through everything. You're a fair dude. So what needs to happen now, and the good thing is now that we're going to get younger judges and people that understand it. We're going to start doing drug cases a lot different now because they need to understand the situations. Yeah. So still got that old school mentality. Old school mentality because those old people. And now we're starting to just defraud everything right now and find out all the secrets. So it's a time for a change, especially when it comes towards these judges. But he told me that, and I remember my lawyer was sitting to the left of me. He was like, "I'm going to sentence you to 188 months." I'm like, I didn't hear the months part, right? I'm like, 188? That's half a year. I got this shit. I'm like smiling. My judge is over here doing this. He's doing the math. Piece of paper says, I'm like, oh shit. Then I started tripping, right? And then the judge says, so Mr. Keldron Joshua, are you ready to go? That fucking door opened up, and Lenny and Squiggy came out the door, and it was like standing there, and I told the judge, I said, no. He says, what do you mean by no? I said, I didn't think I was going to get this much time. He says, who told you anything different? I said, well, no one really, but 15 years? And I said, man, I said in 15 years, all these people that are here to visit me, they're not going to be around for me. I said, my mother's going to get older. My grandmother might not be here. I'm going to lose a lot of friends. I might start over again. I can't do 15 years. And I said, and I need more time. He says, well, you're getting to 15 years, but he's like, I have to think about it. And then he called my defense attorney. He called the prosecution. They came together. They're talking to the judge. Came back and he goes, look, I'm going to give you 90 days. And in 90 days, you're going to get a phone call. And in that phone call, we're going to tell you what prison we want you to go to. And I was like, all right, cool, I can deal with that. That was it. And I remember all my family members, everybody's crying, everybody's sad. I'm walking with a smile on my face because I get to be with my family one more time. And I remember when we got in this elevator, at this huge elevator. We're sitting in there, I could hear, I'm standing in front of the doors, and I could hear everybody crying and shit.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I said, what is everybody crying about? They don't want to say anything. Well, we got 90 more parties to do. And then, everybody starts laughing.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's go. So we got out, and then every day, I lived every day like every day was a party. Every day I wanted people by me. Every day I wanted someone there. I wanted to hang out until the final day when I finally turned myself in.
Damn. I know that countdown was brutal.
It was very brutal. It was so when I got down to those 3 days. Look, I have this friend. His name is Zeke. Shout out to my man Zeke. He's still my friend to this day. My man Zeke says, "Hey, listen, you're going to jail. Let's go to Vegas." But I had to get permission, so you can stay anywhere you want to stay. Whatever you want to do, it's all on me. Fuck, I'm like, first thing comes to my mind is like, there's this room with a bowling alley in it, and I want to get that room with the bowling alley. He looks it up. He goes, "Wait a minute, that's too much." I said, "Okay, well, can we go to I forgot the Maloof's Casino." I said, "There's a basketball room with a basketball court in it and a bed." I said, "Can we stay there?" He's like, "Oh, that's a little too much." And he says, "Man," he goes, "if you do, you can only have that." Yeah. So just find something kind of rational. And the wind had just opened up. So he goes, "Because I got it. You can stay at the wind." Sweet Picasso's, all kind of shit, right? I'm like, just chilling. And he comes with me. We get out. I get the permission. We fly out there. We get there. He gives me a $500 chip, and he says, "This is your $500. Do whatever you want to do with it." I kept that motherfucker. I didn't cash that motherfucker until I came home. Until I came home, I cashed that thing out. But then he stayed for a day and a half, and he left. So now I'm in this room by myself.
Oh, shit.
Anything, all the amenities, everything good to go. So the first thing I do is I call my mom. I said, "Mom, you know what? So you're probably never going to get anybody to take you to some shit like this. Call up whoever you want to call and come meet me in Vegas." And I had a fucking limousine to come pick them up, and man, this is fun. So once we did that, I did that, and that was my last. I stayed there for a week. I came home that Saturday, and then I could turn myself in on Monday. And I partied Saturday, I partied Sunday, and then Monday morning, turn myself in.
What was that drive like, man?
Not cool.
Yeah,
I was scared.
That's where you started, like.
Yeah, that's when you start figuring out and feeling it. What was so sad was the part when the guy, like, we're sitting in this room, and then the elevator opens up, and the guy's like, "Okay, let's go." They got the chains, they got everything. They're standing there, and all your people are there. And then I just asked him, "Can we do one prayer?" And we just prayed. It was just hard to let go. Because I know my life is about to change.
I'm sure. So then, did you just bust out straight from there, straight to the prison? Or did you sit for a while?
I sat down at the holding cell, MDC. And from MDC, I went to San Bernardino County, which was like that's basically where you're going to decide where you're going to go, almost like some bullshit. Yeah. It was half county, half feds, when they make a decision. So then I ended up coming all the way back to LA, to Terminal Island. When I went to Terminal Island, it was right down the street from my house.
Damn.
Like, I've driven over that shit and didn't know it was a prison. Damn. You know what I mean? So it was really kind of strange, kind of spooky in a sense. And then once I got in there, I do remember it's funny shit. I do remember when I was out on house arrest, I had a friend that was doing MMA fighting. And I'm like thinking, look, these motherfuckers don't know me. I'm going to change my name. I'm going to tell these motherfuckers my name is Brock. I'm Brock, and I'm teaching this guy teaching me moves and shit. I'm thinking, I'm doing training with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Chris. And it was fun because I didn't know, because once you walk in the feds, you can be whoever the fuck you want to be, but eventually they find you. Eventually these cats find you, find out who you really are. And But then I just went in there and it was this, met my boy Tommy, which you'll end up meeting one day, great producer. Him and I are working on my documentary of this whole thing. I'm telling you, they put it into a movie and everything. But met my boy Tommy there, and then Fed Life.
Shit.
Day one.
That's what I was gonna ask. Day one, man.
Day one Fed Life. Horrible.
So describe day one.
Day one is basically you come in, you don't have anything, you only have whatever clothes you've gotten from the other prison. You're gonna exchange them out, they give you all your